What's up, guys? Welcome to gwhisky. My name is Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. If that sounds interesting, hit subscribe down below. With that out of the way, let's jump into our review. Today we're looking at the Port Charlotte OLC 01. Stick around. Alright, so we're looking at a Port Charlotte today. I've got the OLC with me. This one is part of their Cask Exploration series, which is a line of whiskeys I've been very enthusiastic about so far. So I don't think there's going to be too much surprise here. I think we all know where this is going to go. Hey guys, gwhisky likes a Port Charlotte. By the way, did you hear the water is wet? So yeah, I am clearly going to like this one, but how much am I going to like it? And also, how does it compare to my beloved PAC? How does it compare to the SC01 or the MRC or the MC? Well, the MRC and the MC I've never had full bottles of, and they're all sold out, so that comparison isn't happening. But the first two, oh boy, the first two. I don't know what that means. Point is, I'm going to be comparing this to the other bottles from this series that I have had, and I'll also be giving you a detailed breakdown of what we're getting in this one specifically. Anyway, OLC stands for Oloroso casks, which was only part of the maturation process for this whiskey. All of these bottles get their names from whatever cask I guess the brand feels best defines the whiskey, but there's always a bunch of different casks in the mix, and they'll tell you which ones if you check out their website because they're a transparent brand, which is fantastic. Anyway, in the case of our OLC here, we have ex-bourbon casks, we have ex-Syrah casks, we have ex-VDN casks, which stands for Vin du Naturel, and then it was transferred into a parcel of Oloroso sherry hogsheads from Bodega Fernando de Castilla. That's a lot of not English, which is fine. Anytime I mispronounce something, everyone is always super chill about it down in the comments. Syrah. Nailed it. This one was distilled in 2010 from a 2009 crop of Scottish barley. 30,000 bottles of this stuff were released. It is starting to thin out in my market. I don't know about other markets, but you might still be able to find it. But if you're interested, I would get on it quite soon. And yeah, I'm gonna like this one. So again, not much mystery here, but still got to do the review. So let's jump into it. In the meantime, if you'll kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. For our specs, this one comes in at 55.1%. It is of course going to be non-chill filtered and natural colored, just like everything else from this brand. So we're looking good. I absolutely love the look of Port Charlotte bottles. I like the black bottle. It's not so black that you can't make out the level of the liquid inside. The label is kind of minimalist, but also very stylized. I think it looks fantastic. So 5 out of 5 for presentation. There is some stuff missing from the bottle. It doesn't actually say that it's non-chill filtered or natural color on the bottle itself. Of course, that information is available elsewhere with a lot of other information, including all the cask breakdowns and pretty much everything you want to know about this stuff. So it's not a lack of transparency, but again, some of those details I would like to show up on the bottle. Small gripe, still a beautiful look. On the nose, this is dry and meaty. I'm getting lots of like smoked meats and grilled meats and char. There's also black peppercorn. There's machine oil. There's like industrial machinery, that kind of thing. We have vanilla. There's cherries. There's blackberry jam. There's plums. There's chocolate. I could go on. This is actually a really complex nose. On the palate and finish, we get a beautiful, intense, complex peat. All of our smoky and peaty notes in here are, again, very sort of industrial. So I'm talking like machine oil, oily rags, things like that. There's also strawberry jam, vanilla, cola, and a very rich, dark, almost resiny type of oak. We have wood varnish.
Oh, wood varnish, eh, Jeff? And just how do you know what wood varnish tastes like?
Because I fucking drink it, that's why. It's delicious. There's also pine, orange oil, there's molasses, there's like a grilled, seared, meaty note. There's some salty coastal notes, there's some mineral notes, there's metallic notes. There is a lot going on in this whiskey. It is a long, complex finish. Yeah, so super good. Complex, intense, layered, and most of all fun. There's a lot of whiskeys out there where you can definitely see the quality, you definitely enjoy your dram, but it doesn't have that magic pull, that reachability, and this stuff does. Every time I finish a dram of this stuff, I want more. I keep coming back to it. It is absolutely mouthwatering. It's got all the quality that I've come to expect from this line, the Cask Exploration series. And I've mentioned this before, but I think this line has some of the best cask choices and cask management in the industry. The balance here is impeccable. We get loads of complexity. The nose grabs you and you're hooked right through to the finish. I love the industrial notes in here. The peat is very earthy as well. We have like jammy notes. We have cola notes. What a star. So yeah, I'm swooning. This stuff is really special, and it's one of those whiskeys that proves that age isn't everything. This 9-year-old is one of the finest whiskeys that I own. So it's a great whiskey to have to show your friends who are age snobs. It's a great whiskey for peat heads. It's a great whiskey for people who chase like layers and complexity. We get plenty of that in here. Yeah, it checks a lot of boxes. So do I like this more than the PAC? No, same. I guess it would be a mood thing. I also have the SC01 on my shelf. I might say I like this one marginally more than that one. It's a different style. That one doesn't have the sherry influence. Or I think it does, but it's mainly sauternes. Whatever. Point is, they're all fantastic. Any whiskey you buy from this line is not going to be a good whiskey. It's going to be a great whiskey. And if you are an Octomore fan, you can spend a little bit less money and buy one of these. And I mean, I like these more than most of the Octomores that I've tried. Granted, I haven't had a lot of Octomores, but of the few that I've tried, I would say these are at least as good as most of them, if not better. So score here is going to be 92, which is of course a very high score, but if something like this doesn't deserve it, I don't know what does. Like I said, this is one of the best whiskeys I have on my shelf. I absolutely love it. Guys, do not sleep on these whiskeys. They're limited edition. Grab them while you can. So good. And I know some of you down in the comments will be like, why would I spend so much more when I can just get the 10? The 10 is great. Yeah, the 10 is great. Get the Islay Barley series. Anything Port Charlotte puts out is great. But as far as I'm concerned, these do represent the best of the Port Charlotte line. So I'm okay with spending the money, which brings us to value. Well, I just said it, didn't I? So yes, I am willing to pay the extra price for these whiskeys. I think they're worth the money. In my market, they're just over about 100 US, and I definitely feel like I'm getting my money's worth. I would recommend picking these up. Obviously, the score is great. The whiskey is expensive, but worth it. Highly recommended. All right, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon. Otherwise, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, I want some feedback from you guys. Have you tried this whiskey? What were your thoughts? How would you compare it to others from the series? Are you a fan of this line? Let me know down below. Finally, down below in the comments, you can also let me know what you want to see me review next, and I'll keep it in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye, guys.